Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Ringside Renaissance. We're here with the RRW Weekly Review for AEW. And we're here with that Forbidden Door review and for the Beach Break review later on. Yeah, we just want to say happy 4th of July that just passed to everybody. And I'm here with Pretty Deadly Jesse. Yeah. And I'm Andrew Combat Jones. What's up? How you doing, Jesse?
Good, man. How you doing today?
I'm good. Just enjoying the nice weather out on this beach break. Yeah.
I was going to say, you're taking a beach break?
Yeah, big beach break. No sand, though. No sand. But you know what it is. Straight out the dungeons of podcasts where all these fake podcasts won't make it back. Yo, I don't know how to start this shit. Hey, yo, Jesse, begin. Yeah. I had to hit him again with it because you already know what it is. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Coming off a big week of AEW. We're back with it again. Like we said, Forbidden Door. Wonder how y'all feel about it. Make sure you let us know in the comments. But
I don't think we're too proud to admit when we're wrong.
Mhm.
But like we both said last week during like the predictions and stuff like that we weren't really looking forward to this review very much. Just wasn't very. But I was pleasantly surprised, man. For the most part, this was pretty solid. I mean, the matches produced in the ring. There was a couple bad apples that were there, but that fell from the learning tree. But overall, I wasn't as like annoyed with this pay-per-view as I usually is. How long it was and how many matches there were, and for the most part, it kept me pretty engaged. There was a couple bathroom breaks, but when you have a 5-hour pay-per-view, you're gonna have a couple bathroom breaks. But
yeah,
I was okay with it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was happy I was able to watch this one from home and not, an 8 hours cramped up in a seat in Long Island. But it was, it was fun. I wasn't as, no disrespect, but bored as I thought I was going to be through some of these matches and stuff. Like there was high spots and low spots for a lot of them too, regardless.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah, and there was some narrative driving forward with like some future storylines and stuff where we were told, and from what we were to believe, is that this Forbidden Door is just kind of be its own separate thing, and but they still did a good job trying to push some narratives forward going forward for AEW. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, man. I wasn't as bummed out. There's a few situations I was very bummed out about, but overall it was pretty good.
Yeah, and props to AEW for storylines. Yeah. Pushing the story ahead. You got to give them props where it's due.
Yep.
So there we have it.
Without further ado, let's open this door, and not the Wyatt 6-6 door. We're talking about the Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
From AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
I watched about a match and a half of the pre-show, and then I looked at the clock and saw there was an hour and 25 minutes until the main show, and I said, there ain't no fucking way. There ain't no way I'm going to keep up and watch all of these, so, forgive me, but I did not watch all the pre-show.
Yeah, it was good for the people at home, the fans at home, to get the free show on YouTube, if you weren't going to buy the pay-per-view. So
yeah. So I heard a couple of the matches were pretty good. There's a couple squash matches at the beginning. And it was kind of like, what's the point of even what's the point? But anyway, it is what it is. So we're going to start with the main card here. We started off with the hometown hero, which I was really surprised and not very too thrilled about. I really just didn't understand it, but we had Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus Hetchisero, which is according to Sockface Excalibur, that is the correct way to pronounce it. And from one terrible mask to another, I think he knows how to say it. So.
Yeah, he knows. I guess it wasn't Honey Nut Cheerios all along.
I know.
Yeah.
I was bummed out. But
Yeah. What?
it is like, I mean, we can admit when we're wrong, but Honey Nut Cheerios, I think, is a better name for him than Hetchisero. But I think it has more ring to it. I think merchandise wise, but
Yeah. True.
it is what it is. It is what it is.
And MJF came out as the babyface. Of course, he was the hometown hero. Started the show off in Long Island. Crowd was pretty pumped for him. And I'm gonna give it to Hetchisero because that guy can wrestle too. He put on a pretty good show too. I was pleasantly surprised by Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah, not only can he produce in the sex dungeon, he can also produce in the ring.
Yeah. Pretty much straight off of FetLife, live onto AEW TV.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I was surprised this match didn't really go as long as I thought it would have, or maybe it should have. But
yeah, it was short.
I mean, it was short and sweet. I mean, they had a lot of matches on this card. I understand how they try to keep the ball rolling, but this is my one point of contention with the amount of matches is if you have less matches, you have more time to tell story with the matches that are on the card.
And I didn't know if it was Hetchisero, Honey Nut Cheerio, or it was Bane. Kind of looked like MJF was wrestling Bane for a minute. I had to adjust the TV,
I was born in the door.
That's true. I didn't think about that. I don't think anybody in their right mind, maybe besides some what is it, AAA or whatever, fans thought that Hetchisero had a chance here.
Yeah.
They did some back and forth. Hetchisero got some heat on MJF. He ended up hitting the Brain Buster 1, 2, 3. I guess that's his finisher moving forward now. Which I'm okay with.
Are you?
Well,
I don't freaking know. Like, why can't you do the Brain Buster and then set it up for the Heat Seeker? Like,
yeah, I guess so. I'd rather have him do that than the arm bar or the ring every time. At least he's got something he's trying to figure out. But
his special move on AEW Fight Forever is the punch with the ring.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, he's got that in the Heat Seeker, and then the Salt of the Earth or whatever the hell the lock is.
Yeah, I haven't played any of that, so I don't know.
But he breaks out the ring every time. Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't make sense because some people do like, in the words of Excalibur, avalanche brain busters off the top rope, and it's like, bro, and then they kick out at 2, but he just does a plain old fucking brain buster and gets a 3. I don't understand it, but you know what? Listen, it's better than a short arm clothesline.
Yeah, fair enough. Whatever, it is what it is. Selling, yeah.
I'd rather bust your brain than make some rain. Oh shit! Put that on a shirt, Con.
Yeah,
man, that was off the dome right there. So yeah, MJF won. He hit the showers in the pay window first, as he said on social media.
Yep.
And it rolled right into the Elite, the Young Bucks, and Kazuchika Okada versus the Acclaimed and Hiroshi Tanahashi, which
bitch.
I guess Tanahashi and Okada had a huge feud in New Japan. That's where this kind of all
that's why it was such a big deal. I get it.
Yeah. So that's okay. Storyline point when I can read comments on Twitter and see like that's why he was picked for this match. Okay, but I wasn't gonna do the research to figure out why he was picked for this match. But
yeah, and the Acclaimed, they came out guns loaded and busting. Yeah, because they kicked like a full fucking 32 bars on the Bucks and the Rainmaker.
I thought he was going to drop a whole album.
Yeah, it pretty much was a full mixtape from 2006. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay.
I
think it was cool to see Max Caster get back to kind of his shtick and stuff and
right.
not be cut off by Okody. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting too much out of this match. This further proved to me that like the Bucks and the Elite like aren't, my opinion, I'll say my opinion, the Bucks and the Elite aren't over whatsoever.
And they aren't
like
elite.
Oh man, it was like the crowd was like maybe like a calm hum when they came out. There was no boos, there was no cheers. It was just like
yeah. And then their entrance too, it's just
the coin.
Oh yeah, the coin too. Yeah, and then just the Bucks entrance. It's just the music and like their fucking attire now and just the whole shtick.
You know what's
Doesn't
funny?
do it for me. Yeah.
Okada comes out and does like the pose with the Bills. Has he been doing that for a while? Like, I wonder, because like, did the Bucks steal that from him, or did he take that from the Bucks? That's
maybe.
interesting. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
I don't know the lineage of that, but like, it'd be kind of funny if the Bucks stole that from Okada and now they're partners.
I just want the Bucks to bring back their old theme music. Like I like that shit.
Kick party.
Yeah,
that's
my shit.
Music.
That's my shit.
So yeah, there wasn't too much a note with this match. It just wasn't. This one wasn't for me. I think the Acclaim did all right. Anthony Bowen continues to look good. Like, Anthony Bowen really looks good. There was the one part in the match where the comedy humor thing, but like, was it Matt Jackson put on the headphones and Okada was doing like the fucking thing? I thought that was funny. That one got me to laugh a little bit. I like seeing personality, but
right. No, Okada's got personality too. That's what I have noticed throughout like this whole feud starting and him coming in, and I enjoy it. Yeah, it's funny.
It's funny how they paid him as much as, you know, the rumor is that they paid him just for him to come out and do this kind of sideshow shit, but
and all he does is say a few words too. Mainly,
and all power to him, bro. If I could get paid that much to do that little, like, you know, you can't hate on the performer,
right,
for getting paid to do so little and get a paycheck. Absolutely. I mean, whatever. So
yeah.
I guess it furthered the Okada and Tanahashi feud because Okada did get the short arm clothesline and the pin on Tanahashi and the Elite win and
blah. Yeah.
Nah, I didn't think that,
we saw that coming.
Yeah. So next we had the Owen Hart quarterfinal. It's another thing with these Owen Hart matches. Like, the brackets are like all out of place. Like, there's quarterfinal, then a semifinal, then a quarterfinal, then like,
yeah. And I said it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I said it before. I'll say it again. I don't know why. Why is the fucking quarterfinal at the fucking pay-per-view? Like,
yeah, the whole thing. Because
whatever. I know. Yeah.
And did anybody think, okay, so this was Bryan Danielson against Shingo Takagi, and like, did anybody think Shingo was going to win this? Like, it's an AEW Owen Hart tournament. And you have him facing Bryan Danielson. Like,
yeah,
Bryan Danielson was going to win this match, you know?
Yeah, what anybody expect? He's gonna win and then have to book a random flight to a random city from Japan to come fucking wrestle and then lose.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
You know, Bryan Danielson continues to sell his neck from the Will Ospreay's Tiger Driver 90210, and you know, that's a continuing storyline. Maybe they're gonna rehash that later on down the line, but I don't know. For what this was, I wasn't too much of a big fan. I mean, it was an okay match, I guess. Like I said, I knew Bryan Danielson was going to win. I think Shingo got a little bit too much offense for it, but
yeah, agreed.
It just is what it is. I think at the end they did like these kind of like pin or the submission reversals over and over and over again, and Bryan Danielson finally got like an arm bar on Shingo Takagi and made him tap out and be a tournament.
Got the better of him, and that was it.
That was it. That was all she wrote.
You got the tap. Just got to tap it in.
Give it a little taparoo.
Taparoo.
Remember when like there was, so all submissions were always, okay, I quit, I submit. Like, there was no tap out until like Ken Shamrock came into the WWF in like the 90s, and that's
true.
when that became a thing.
Yeah,
there was like the tap out was never like a thing because people would sit there and tap on the arm around their neck and nothing but.
Yeah, that's true. Very good point. Yeah. I'm gonna make you tap, bitch. Fucking Ken Shamrock, psycho, with that fucking ankle lock, man.
With the roid rage.
Yeah, with the veins popping.
Concussion concoction he had. You know? So yeah, Bryan Danielson wins with an armbar. Moving on, we had the women's world title match, which I'm gonna beat this drum till it bursts. Like, why is the women's championship match on before the fucking mid-card women's title? Like,
right.
You're not going to convince me otherwise. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Absolutely stupid.
And it was a solid match, too.
Yeah. We had Toni Storm, the champion, against Mina Shirakawa with Mariah May in both their corners, I guess. And
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this was, for what it was really good. I thought Mina Shirakawa was just mostly like a comedy act. But
Me too.
she can go. She can go when she gets in the ring.
Yeah, Toni needs to sign her to a contract. She needs to be on AEW TV every week, without a doubt. Like, she will help the women's division. She can wrestle. She's small, agile too, and all that, and she can still go and make it look good in multiple ways. Like, come on, we can't deny it. And Toni Storm did great too this match. Sometimes her matches are kind of up and down for me, like how they go, but they worked beautifully together in the ring.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think this kind of had chemistry.
Yeah,
and it just kind of flowed very well for. And as like we said, a lot of matches just not meshing and whatever, and a lot of lack of talent maybe in the women's division in AEW right now. Like this one really hit home for me as far as not only a title match but a women's title match. Like I was okay with this. I was pleasantly surprised, man.
And there really wasn't that much like outside interference either.
Yeah,
like we thought we might see.
Fuckery.
Yeah,
right.
with Saraya or like that whole spiel. So
yeah, and I'm sad because this was one of our few predictions we got wrong, because
true.
You and I really were trying to will Mina Shirakawa to win this one, and she did not.
And she got and on the whole IWC and the internet, Twitter, everything, X, people just sending their praise for Mina Shirakawa too.
Yeah, it was really nice to see.
Yeah. So you know what you got to do, Toni. Make it all elite. Let's go.
You sign all these other worthless talents to fucking contracts, might as well.
Yeah.
I can't say worthless. I ain't gonna. That's mean.
And after the match, after they won, they all hugged and they shared that 3-way kiss. Yes, and they all left the arena together with their hands on their asses, walking out into the sunset.
Dave Meltzer really approved of this match. Boy, oh boy, man! I swear to God, he rated this 5 stars and fucking 1 bottle of fucking Lubriderm, because fucking guy.
He gave the same rating that he gives on Pornhub.
Yeah.
He forgot what site he was on.
Yeah. So it was fucking terrible, man.
He's the type of guy that makes a Pornhub account and actually leaves comments,
pays the monthly fee. Yeah. Dave Meltzer wears ribbed rubbers and turns them inside out for his own pleasure.
He rates himself in bed.
Well, it was a good possession. It just 3.25 stars.
Whoever the other guy is, I can't fucking stand him too.
Brian Alvarez?
Yeah.
Oh, I like him.
I mean, he calls Dave out on his shit sometimes, but half the time I'm like, shut the fuck up too.
Yeah.
No disrespect, I guess, or whatever. Fuck you, or not.
It turns into this. This is a game of ass kissing, man. If you ass kiss enough people, like you're gonna do well, and like fuck that. We're just gonna tell you what we think. Like I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck if we never get a call from Titan Tower.
Yeah.
We're just gonna tell you what it like it is.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah.
We're just going to give you our honest and truthful opinions.
Yeah, we have no affiliation to anybody at this point. We are just talking out of our asses.
We have affiliations with our asses because we talk out of them.
Yeah, that's about it. Exactly.
Toni Storm got the Storm Zero, ends up retaining her title, wins the match. Good for her. Good match overall.
Yeah.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy. What did you think of this one?
It was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
That was it. Zack Sabre Jr. won. Did all this technical wrestling shit. Like, he's very impressive. You can't deny that.
No, not at all.
Orange Cassidy wasn't that bad. I guess the match was a little more exciting than I thought it was going to be, but in the end, it just was what it was.
We've talked about before. I'm not a fan of Orange Cassidy. I mean, he kind of brought it a little more in this match. He abandoned his gimmick a little bit, and it was less gimmicky, more pro wrestling, I guess. But at the end of the day, I'm just not a big fan of his. And Zack Sabre Jr., for the talent he has, and I was impressed by him again. I was impressed with him last year and again this year, and to have him against Orange Cassidy I just thought was doing him a big injustice.
I agree. Because as good as he is in the ring, he also has that natural charisma too.
Yeah,
about him and confidence. And he stole the finisher from Auntie Anne's, and put and twisted Orange Cassidy up like a pretzel. Yeah. He wrung out that orange juice until it was dry.
Oh man, we're talking about like these mall eateries right now. He went the Orange Julius stand and put him in an Auntie Anne's pretzel.
And that wasn't no Orange Julius. That was lemonade.
Shout out Auntie Anne's. Let us know in the comments if you guys have an Auntie Anne's. I don't know if that's an like a national thing. If that's just like
they make pretzels and lemonade.
They make pretzels
and lemonade. That's pretty much about it. Yeah.
But yeah, so the Auntie Anne line was fucking awesome if people get it. So yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. won. I don't know. People are saying they're teasing not a gimmick change, but maybe a personality change for Orange Cassidy here. I didn't catch it because I wasn't paying attention to it.
Okay, well, I hope so. Let's do
They're
it.
saying going back to his old theme music, him wearing a black Orange Cassidy shirt now or something. Maybe they're gonna like switch him up or I don't fucking know, man. They just
do it.
They need to turn him back into Fire Ant from ever watched that before. It was oh god, I can't think of the name of the wrestling company, but he wore a mask and he was the Fire Ant. Was it Chikara Wrestling? Yeah, look up on YouTube Chupacabra Wrestling. Yeah, he was known as the Fire Ant. He wore an ant mask and came out to the ring and stuff.
Okay.
So. Yeah, there was a whole family of ants, but he was the Fire Ant anyway. So anyway, a little bit of a history for you. Next we had Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata against the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, the Big Tree, Big Bill.
Yeah.
And we had not Minoru Suzuki. We had Jeff Cobb do a stand-in. I don't think they ever explained why.
Yeah. Yeah, they had the Learning Tree, the Red Driftwood, and Corn on the Cob against ciabatta bread and Samoa Joe and Funyun Hook.
And you almost did it. If you would have had something for Joe.
I know. The Pillsbury Joe Man. Sloppy Joe. The Pillsbury Joe Man.
I used to go to like TNA events when he was in TNA and people would chant Sloppy Joe at him. It was fucking rough, bro. I was like, I'm not going along with that one.
Yeah. I'm not getting choked out.
Yeah. So this again, I'm not really a big fan of it. I do not like the Chris Jericho shit. I think it's fucking stupid. I understand the comedy aspect of it, but this just isn't for me at all.
Yeah, this match too. It wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, it was just nothing I was really too big on. Samoa Joe and Jeff Cobb, the two big guys in there wrestling a little bit, looked really cool. They laid their shit in pretty well. And,
yeah, Jeff Cobb wasn't bad at all, though. For me, calling Corn on the Cob, he wasn't. Yeah, I can't take that from him. And we had Hook giving Jericho his own finisher, the Judas effect, which we'll also touch on later in the show.
Yeah.
What?
Let's touch it. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, and that was kind of cool to see him take Jericho's, because he did learn from Jericho under the Learning Tree. So to take his finisher kind of tied into, I can understand that, but
True.
like it just didn't get laid in as well as I thought. It kind of
Well,
it looked good until they showed the replay of it, and then it looked terrible. Like sometimes replays are
the wrong
not
camera
good for
angle.
Yeah. So anyway, Samoa Joe, Hook, Shibata win. Moving on, the TNT title ladder match. We had Jack Perry, Konosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, El Phantasmo, Dante Martin, and Leo Rush, your favorite Leo Rush.
The Mothman.
I had a lot of questions about this match going into it, and I have a lot of questions coming out of it, but
I wasn't a fan of the match.
Nah.
Honestly, like even with the ladder and the spots, like no, there was some cool flippity shit and stuff like that with the smaller guys. Like you got to give credit to like Leo Rush and El Phantasmo and Takeshita. Mark Briscoe was cool. He took some hella bumps in it. Jack Perry, he can suck a you know what. I know it is what it is. Yeah. He can suck a goat dick.
Yeah, him coming out to like with the goat mask on. I was like, is this another member of the Wyatt 6-6 or what the fuck are we doing
House of
here?
Black? Yeah, like what the fuck? Yeah,
fucking dumb. The whole scapegoat character is fucking played out and dumb. It's like ridiculous.
Jack Perry, the type of guy that give himself his own nickname. Like he called himself the scapegoat. Ain't nobody else give him that name. I didn't name myself Combat Jones, motherfuckers. Just remember that shit. You bitch ass scapegoat calling your ass self Jack Perry. Fuck you.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of it. The whole scapegoat character, the whole thing's stupid to me. Like everybody that thinks like this is like compelling television. Mark Briscoe looked good. I didn't like the aluminum ladders randomly in the match. Everybody knew that those were just used for weapons and were not going to be used for the finish of the match. I thought that was kind of stupid to have those implemented in it.
Yeah, you don't want to walk up those things. They'll break right in half, right in the middle. Yeah.
Takeshita looked fucking awesome in this match. Like, and he even got the crowd behind him. Like Takeshita had that crowd behind. Like, I mean, they were chanting his name. They were when he was going up the ladder and stuff. They were like going ape shit. Like the crowd wanted Takeshita to win that match. I wanted Takeshita to win it, but that is not to be. He did that blue thunder bomb through the tables. And the tables just like exploded.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
He looked so good in the match, but we all knew what the fucking end was going to be. This wasn't
right.
This wasn't like a big mystery.
No, and it wasn't that impressive of a like ending for when Jack Perry got it too.
Yeah, not a fan.
Sucked.
They're just really seriously building a storyline where all the elite holds gold, and like I'm not a fan of this whatsoever. It's stupid. Maybe Okada, but you ain't telling me the rest of like the Bucks and Jack Perry are menacing in any way, and there ain't anybody on that roster that can't fucking beat. I'm just over it. I just think it's dumb.
Yeah, and to see people fucking cheering Jack Perry after he won in the audience, bunch of fucking marks.
Right. And at that point, like they're supposed to be getting heat, and you're cheering for them. They're doing the wrong fucking thing.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like, but you know what? There's long-term storytelling in AEW, you know, so I can't wait till they finally have the payoff match between Jack Perry and CM Punk.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, are they really Jack Perry fans, or are they just a bunch of CM Punk haters?
Yeah, you already know what it is.
Fucking assholes.
You already know what it is. Maybe if Tony sees me cheering for Jack Perry, he'll give me a backstage pass.
Yeah. We won't let any journalist in with their podcast or record live. Because we'll flag it because it's copyright infringement. Yeah. See that? Fucking that. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. They really want to push one narrative one way of how things are going.
Exactly. Yeah, for calling out fucking WWE for being so fucking horrible and corporate and everything, but you're trying to silence the masses. Come on, Tony. What the fuck?
Do better.
Yeah.
Next, we had the title for title match, the women's strong title versus the TBS title, two most prestigious women's titles in pro wrestling today. Mercedes Martinez versus Stephanie Vacour.
Yeah, and I know, you don't like Mercedes Martinez either. And honestly, I've kind of came around on that opinion too.
No.
As far as like her wrestling and just like the way she talked, like I was more a fan of a Sasha Banks in WWE. I'll just say it. But this match, I think this was definitely her best match in AEW so far. I'll give her that credit. Okay. And Stephanie Vacour was fucking great.
Yeah.
I thought she was great. She was real good. She was doing that thing. She was like between her knees, slamming Mercedes' head on the mat and stuff. And there was some good. She has some good moves, and it flowed too. Like I liked it.
Yeah,
more than I thought I would. Yeah.
So you saying, and I agree, is probably Mercedes Martinez's best match in AEW, which is all three of them.
It's not saying much. Yeah, but
I give a lot of that credit to Stephanie Vacour because the crowd.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the crowd, there's some fans that watch a little bit of everything, but like for like the mass majority of the crowd probably didn't know much of Stephanie Vacour's work or whatever, but man, she won that fucking crowd over.
And I was going to say, like, this is when we literally saw the crowd turn on Mercedes Martinez. Because up to this point, they've kind of been behind her, right? Regardless of what was happening with like Willow or whoever, like they were still behind her, fresh off her coming into AEW, but not after this match. That's out the window now. Yep.
I feel like she was exposed. You know what I mean? Like
that's counterfeit bucks right there. Counterfeit money. That money don't change anything. Not for the audience, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like she got exposed here, and then it is what it is. She won with the bank statement, ended up winning. Like I said, I don't think anybody thought anybody else was going to win. But the big surprise of the night came after She won both titles, and
Yeah.
the doctor is ready to see us now.
Yes.
Dr. Britt Baker.
Yeah. She's back. She's back.
And it's funny,
D.
It's funny because I wasn't a big fan of Britt Baker, like all the way up until this point where she came out, and like her coming back, I was like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, thank
like,
fucking God. Yeah.
You don't know what you got till it's gone, because I was never really a big fan of hers.
She had her moments. Yeah,
but I wasn't really too much of a big fan. But seeing her come out and the pop she got, and like, it to me felt like she had more star power in this moment than fucking Mercedes Martinez had.
She definitely upstaged her and showed her up. Mercedes didn't look very happy either, holding up those two belts, looking at Britt. And Britt kind of like teased coming down to the ring a little bit when her fireworks went off, and then she turned back around and said, "Fuck you, Mercedes. You ain't shit."
See you later.
Yeah. Good shit, though.
Yeah.
Good return. Like, that was one of the high spots of the whole night, for sure.
Yeah, and we'll touch on that more when we get into Dynamite. But yeah, it's good to see her back.
Yeah.
It was a big surprise. I didn't think it was going to happen. Anything like that was going to happen on this pay-per-view. So then we had the IWGP Championship match: Tetsuya Naito versus Jon Moxley. This match fucking sucked.
Could have
the
been
only
on
thing that
the pre-show 0 hour.
It could have just been on New Japan, where nobody watches, for me, because
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
I was not a big fan of this. Their styles just didn't seem to mesh very well. Something didn't mesh. It was just too slow and sloppy. And I didn't think Jon Moxley was going to lose in an AEW ring, but
jeez, yeah,
that I was surprised about. And then there was some weird shit with the fucking referee at the end. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that was planned out or if it was just like a botch or something. But the commentators were like, "Oh, red shoes." I guess the referee's name is Red Shoes, and I don't know. It just was, the whole thing was just really muddy for me.
Yeah, that they got the different referees. Even when they do all the announcing, they got to announce
Double
twice.
announce.
It's like,
Jesus
come on,
Christ,
like,
dude. This is supposed to be a pay-per-view with New Japan and AEW. It's not just supposed to be AEW.
Yeah,
right?
fair enough.
So it's supposed to be like a dual thing, and I try to keep that in mind. It's not just AEW, but obviously it's mostly AEW. They're the ones probably backing it the most with like their money, the funds and stuff like that. So but yeah, so anyway, I just was not a fan of this. Tetsuya Naito fucking wins the IWGP title. That surprised me. I didn't think Jon Moxley was going to lose, but I got nothing else for it. Wasn't a fan of it.
Shout out to Monty, though, and all that. They were talking about Jon Moxley's fucking music. Bring back the old theme music. Bring back fucking unscripted violence. Bring back the old song. Yeah, come on.
I agree. That's very true. Yeah, this Wild Thing's kind of played out. Man.
Yeah, I'm over it.
No. What do you think? He's Charlie Sheen?
Yeah, I'd rather have Charlie Sheen, the Tiger Blood, at this point. Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
You want to.
I guess I can't bring that back now. Yeah. Everybody's got to ruin everything. Yeah.
Everything's fucking A.
Yeah.
Well, the main event, the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. Again, I'm not going to touch on it too much. We all kind of have our opinions and feelings. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was pretty good. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
The ending was kind of stupid to me. I didn't enjoy the ending very much at all.
Yeah.
I didn't like the referee getting hit, knocked out. Don Callis trying to give him Will Ospreay a screwdriver. And not the drink, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if Will Ospreay drinks, and that's his business. I'm talking about the foreign object screwdriver.
Yeah.
He refused, and that ultimately cost him the win. So.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was what I figured it kind of would be, right? But they have good chemistry in the ring. It's not the first time they've wrestled, and other promotions also. Swerve and Ospreay, so they know what to do. They put it on. You had Ballin', Dipsets, Harlem's, Jim Jones coming out with the title, announcing Swerve in New York. Can't have it any better than that. It was Ballin'. Have to do it again. Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah, that
Harlem.
was I was confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was confused about that one. I mean, would you have rather like Nas came out and did it, or?
Well, I mean, yeah, he's top 5, but
I mean, I'm just saying. You said you couldn't have it better than that.
yeah, I guess you could. Okay, but
could have.
but I got love for Harlem though, so you already know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I just had to be devil's advocate because I knew I could get you with one.
Yeah, that's true. And it is Long Island. You know, Long Island's closer to Queens. He was kind of closer to Queensbridge. So, Nas. But yeah, Jim Jones is definitely more of a hype man than Nas would be. I give him that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think ever since the Rick Ross incident, I think they got to be careful with who they. They got to make sure people are totally on board. Nas probably would have went into business for himself a little bit. Yeah, but
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Nas could have came out for the championship when he did the whole Black Panther outfit and stuff. That probably would have been more his speed.
Came out and did like the "Hate Me Now" song or something.
Yeah,
like, woo! Yeah.
But we digress. Anyway,
they do one at like City Field or something in Queens. Let's go. Yeah. It'd be over.
I'm not going.
Place would be crazy. Yeah. I'm not even a Mets fan, but I'm a Mets fan because of Nas. That's it.
I can be on board with that.
Yeah.
That's how I first became
Bruins
fan.
Mike Piazza, like you fucked with Mike Piazza back in the day. Come on,
like, the only player you could name
from the Mets. That's true. Yeah,
Mike Piazza.
Yeah.
I became a Bruins fan because of the Dropkick Murphys, so I can't really.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I can't really fucking complain. But anyway, it is what it is. We digress. You know, it was a pretty good championship match. Better than I thought it was. The end was kind of muddy. Again, Will Ospreay refused to go dirty and accept Don Callis' help with the foreign object screwdriver, and it ultimately cost him. Swerve Strickland hit the house call. 1, 2, 3. We have Will Ospreay's first loss in AEW.
Yeah,
and Swerve Strickland retains the title. They gave a nice, warm, sexually charged embrace in the ring afterwards. And I read, so I don't get into the scuttlebutt too much, but I did for this one. I read somewhere that this was Ospreay's decision. Yeah, I read that Ospreay's big, obviously probably the most over guy in AEW right now. And from what I've read, I don't know if there's any truth to this or not. Let us know in the comments if you all don't know if this is fucking true or not, but let us know if you agree with this or think it's true. That Ospreay asked Tony Khan to take the loss to Swerve because he wanted to help legitimize Swerve's title run.
It's true.
And to give Ospreay his first loss in AEW and This is just what I heard. Ospreay asked to take the loss so that way it would help legitimize Swerve's run as world champion.
Well, I believe it because, Tony don't really run shit, and I'm sure if Ospreay asks for something, Tony's going to give it to him too. But I give credit to Ospreay there because, like, leading up to this, I've been talking about how I kind of been, like, disliking Ospreay.
Yeah.
Because of how things have been going. So, the end of it and then things that came after with Beach Break, which we'll get into, I don't hate Ospreay as much because of it. And I think he's a great wrestler and all that. Obviously, as I said, like the match was great and he's great in the ring, right? But props to him for that. Yep.
Yeah, and like I said, if that's true, I mean, it's really good. If not, he took the loss and it was,
Either way, yeah. No, and Swerve fucking dug down deep too and went cold-hearted assassin on him and fucking put him out of his misery. And I was all there for it.
That ties into their promo before this match about saying that Ospreay doesn't have the killer instinct and him tiring the Tiger Driver 504163 and not using it on a Swerve during the match and then not wanting to use the screwdriver. It was just a bunch of little pieces there that he didn't have the killer instinct to put Swerve away.
Yeah.
And it further pushes him being a babyface as well, because if he was still going to run with the heel group with Don Callis, then, at that point he would use those cheap tactics to get a win, but he didn't.
Yeah, and he had to lose at some point, so what better place for it to be than against Swerve at a pay-per-view, and at least it's a big loss, and he still showed out and they got all their shit in, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But the ending was, a little back and forth, the way, like, they could have ended it a little sooner with like a finisher. Like it was a little off. I don't know why or what it was, but great match up to that point though.
Yeah, yeah, and I was okay with this, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. And
People were
like I said,
saying match of the year. I don't know if I'd go that far to say that at all, but good main event. Can't complain. Can't argue with it.
yeah, and we're gonna this is a Dave Meltzer bash episode, I guess, but Dave Meltzer gave it fucking 5.5 stars. That was not a fucking 5.5.
I thought he would have gave it 7.5. Wow,
bro. Yeah, by the end of the Toni Storm Mina Shirakawa match, he was shooting blanks. He had nothing left in the tank after that one.
That's true.
So
yeah,
that was Forbidden Door. Man, I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. I'm not going to shit on it too much. Like I said, there was things in it I don't like, but there's things in every wrestling show I don't like. So
yeah,
good on them. Like I really did not think I was going to enjoy this whatsoever, but I liked it.
yeah.
So
time to close that Forbidden Door and play those amazing guitar riffs by me. Yeah.
It's Wednesday night. You know what that means.
You know what that means. Yeah.
It is time for AEW Dynamite.
And it was a special edition of Dynamite, like there always is, like once a month. But this one was Beach Break.
And how would you know it was Beach Break besides the sweet graphic on the screen in the back? Because they had no props.
Yeah.
They had no gimmick matches, no theme matches.
Where was the
All
beach?
they said was, this is Beach Break. Shark Week's this Sunday.
Where was the sand? Where was the palm trees? Where was the two-piece bikinis?
The men in tight Speedos.
Yeah.
Smuggling a fruit basket in the front.
Yeah, that's the closest we got to a beach.
Yeah, so this is AEW Dynamite again. We're gonna go 2 for 2 here. Like I wasn't too upset about this episode of Dynamite here, man. This was actually fairly good. I thought it was good as far as a Fallout show after a pay-per-view goes.
Yeah,
I was pretty okay with this.
It was a good follow-up to Forbidden Door for sure. Yeah.
And it's sad if all you guys are tuning in just to hear us shit all over AEW, like just wait till next week. Maybe we'll be back to it. But I don't have too much bad to say about this one. Like this is all right, you know?
Yeah.
It started out hot. We had the Owen Hart semifinals at this point. Bryan Danielson versus Pac. Boy, I'm a Pac fan. I really don't think he's gotten the credit he's deserved in the pro, not just in AEW or WWF as Neville, but just in pro wrestling in general. I'm a huge fan of his work. I thought this was a great match.
The bastard Pac. Yeah.
Good.
The bastard. He's a bastard. Yeah. Good shit.
He's a bastard. So, okay.
Yeah.
I think Justin Roberts needs to go. So anyway,
oh jeez, okay,
maybe.
You think so? I like Justin Roberts, the dapper yapper.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a good guy. But whatever. Yeah, well, you never know because when Rick O'Shea debuts for AEW, and
I was just gonna say, yeah, according to people in the drama and the gossip, Rick O'Shea's agent was backstage at AEW Dynamite.
Ooh.
Allegedly.
Yeah, so this match was all right. Bryan Danielson, I mean, they're obviously pushing him going to the finals and losing to the wild card, who we're going to bring up later. But, I don't know. I think that everything, so this is just further pushing the Elite storyline. This whole tournament is just further pushing the Elite storyline that, as we're going to find out later, and that kind of took me out of it. Pac gave a really impassioned promo vignette thing at the beginning of this about how he needs to win this tournament. Jeff Jarrett gave an amazing little vignette package about what Owen Hart meant to him as a friend and what this tournament means to him, just for him to lose in the first round.
I was impressed. Yeah.
So I think that they're really they're sacrificing telling great, compelling stories with the pieces they have there just to try to further push this fucking elite narrative. And that's one thing that does bother me about this. But they had, it was a good match, solid match. They're both good technical performers. Pac didn't really do too much of his high flying stuff.
Yeah, he had like that moonsault to the outside. Something like
he had
that,
like
but
that body press over the top rope, which is really good. It looks like he's going to do like some sort of weird flip thing, but he just does like a body press in it, but it's so solid when it hits. They did like these weird pinning back and forth counter pins, back and forth for probably about fucking 4 minutes and 86 seconds through a picture-in-picture.
I hate picture-in-picture.
So fucking dumb.
I'm still gonna fucking fast forward it. If I'm watching DVR, like if I'm watching it back, I'm like, I don't want to watch the commercial too. And have you ever seen anybody win or lose during the picture-in-picture?
Right.
Come on.
It's just cheap heat time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Picture-in-picture times, like the time I get to like scroll through my phone.
Yeah.
I'm like,
because when they hit commercial and you don't see picture-in-picture, they stop wrestling. Then they start again when the camera goes hot.
Yeah, they grease up their beefcakes before the camera comes back on.
If a tree falls in the forest, does it really make a sound if you're not there?
I don't know. I think it's some of these foreign, some of like these overseas like TV shows, like they play through the break, like they don't get commercial breaks like that. So they get to see more of that. I don't know. Anyway, so it is what it is. Picture-in-picture sucks. Let us know in the comments if you agree with us. Give us a like if you believe picture-in-picture sucks.
Yeah.
And
either way, give us a like.
Yeah, either way. Please.
Don't be that one asshole that hit the dislike button. Yeah, we know who you are. I'll have my revenge.
Yeah, we need to get more likes and subscribes so I can continue justifying to my wife why I'm doing this show. So please.
Yeah.
So at the end they do these this pinning reversal back and forth combination. Bryan Danielson gets the win to a surprise Pac, and Bryan Danielson moves on to the finals of the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah.
Without even having the first round in the other bracket yet. Bryan Danielson's already in the finals, which doesn't make sense. Whatever.
Yeah, it's backwards.
Pac looked devastated. I would have rather had Pac win this match. I think he's got a lot more to gain from it than Bryan Danielson, but what are you going to do?
I'm over with this tournament.
Yeah. So next we just had, MJF was backstage, just asked Daniel Garcia. Well, we had Daniel Garcia backstage talking about his match later, his international title match later with Will Ospreay, and MJF came in and asked if he could be in his corner, and to which Daniel Garcia agreed to, and that plays into further stuff down the line. This fucking Daddy Magic, Will Daddy Mac Daddy, Michael McDaddy, I don't fucking care.
Daddy Magic. Yeah.
It
was funny at the beginning when he was doing all that stuff. Yeah.
I'm not on board with him. him. It's just that whole thing fell apart. The Jericho appreciators are done. Like
exactly.
His partner knocked up fucking
Ruby Soho.
I don't know. I'm just not a fan of this whole thing.
Yep.
His whole thing.
Yeah.
Or Daniel Garcia for that matter. Then next we had another Owen Hart semifinal match, which I know by this point you're a fucking fan. Dude, they're pushing this tournament real quick, dude. This whole tournament's got done in like 3 weeks. This really
sucks.
Exciting. Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander, which I did not like this match. I think this match had all the makings after Statlander turned on Willow after the TBS title match.
Right.
This match had all the makings to give it a solid build and a payoff at a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And instead, they kind of just left it alone for a month and then just had them in the same side of the tournament tree, which you knew they were going to fight each other. And then they had the blow-off match as a tournament match.
Evidently, they end up fighting each other in the tournament after they've had this feud and she turned on her. Like, what's the chances of that? So stupid. And then Chris Statlander, like the heel now, comes out with this music and like the lights aren't even on and you can't even freaking see her. Like, I don't know if they screwed up the set, like the sound and lights people, or that's like the plan, but it was just.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Chris Statlander. I like Chris Statlander. I think she's really good in the ring. She's, I think, one of the most consistent and solid female performers on the roster.
Yeah.
But I just don't think they've ever really had anything for her. The alien thing when she was with the best friends really didn't work out. Then she was, doing her own thing and won the She won the TBS title from Jade Cargill that ended her reign.
Yeah.
And now she's doing the job in a fucking in the second round of a fucking tournament. Like, I'm just not a big fan.
She was like 60-0 when she beat her or something too. Like
some
150 to she beat Goldberg's record.
I don't know about all that, but yeah. So, I'm just not a fan of the direction they got Chris Statlander in, just because I do like Chris. I like Willow Nightingale too.
Yeah,
her promos are a little bit forced to me. I feel
this week it was too. Yeah, like the whole thing.
It just seems like it just seems like she practices in her mirror of her hotel room before she goes to the fucking.
Yep.
I don't know.
Crowd's always behind her though. So whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, Nightingale ended up getting the pin on Chris Statlander, moves on in the tournament, and we move on because this tournament shit's going too long. Then we had Britt Baker come out to the ring and give her little comeback speech.
It seemed like a little scripted to me, too much or something. Like it just like how she flowed with it. She was probably nervous, like she said. She was nervous, like it was part of the thing. She hasn't been there for a while, and she gave a really good excuse, insight into why she hasn't been there, and almost having like a stroke, I guess, right? She pretty much it boiled down
stroke,
to.
She said,
yeah.
Yep.
So,
and this is the thing. If she says right at the beginning of her little promo, she says, "I don't know what I was trying to think about what to say, so I'm just gonna go off the top." But then, like, she proceeded to give it felt like a scripted promo.
Yeah, it sounded like Drake trying to freestyle on Funk Flex off his phone. Yeah.
But if she wouldn't have given that one little line at the beginning, like, "Oh, I'm just going to go off the top of my head," like, this would have been fine.
Right.
But the fact that she said she was going to, and then she was like, "Well, to quote Machiavelli, fucking da-da-da," I'm like, okay.
The past, present, and the future. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even remember what the quote was. But, shout out to Britt Baker, though. I'm glad she's doing okay.
Yeah.
She looks in great shape, dude.
Yeah, she looks great. Yeah, for sure.
She looks in better shape now than fucking Adam Cole has ever been in his entire life. Adam Cole looks like a roll of silly putty straight out of the package. But Britt Baker looks really good here. She looked really in shape. She said she's cleared to go. Everything's good to go.
Yeah, cool.
And the crowd was behind her, man. Like, that's whether you're a day one AEW guy like we are, or you just came on board like when she rose to the top and became champion or whatever. Britt Baker, she was on the indies and stuff, but as far as stream wrestling, is a homegrown AEW talent, which there isn't very much of them left anymore.
Right, and like she said, she was the first woman to sign with AEW. To sign that big thing, and she's one of those people or women or pillars that AEW really needs to go forward. That built it, and that will continue on like that tradition and that trajectory of where it needs to go to be better and be good. Yeah, for sure.
And I wasn't like I said, I wasn't ever a big fan of Britt Baker when everything was going on, because I had kind of like my own favorites in that division. But you can't deny her what she did, like rising up and organically, and it all stemmed from way back on the Jericho Cruise when she was a baby face and people were booing her and you couldn't really hear, and she just like fucking like bugged out and did like a heel promo out of nowhere and like just rose this whole thing, and it just grew organically after that. And
you can't forget about the lights out match with Thunder Rosa too.
Thunder Rosa, come on, So I mean,
match of the year.
Yeah, shout out to Britt Baker, man, and but it wasn't a sanctioned match, so how could it be a match? Shout out to Britt Baker coming back and seeming to be healthy and stuff. We're glad she's healthy. We don't want to wish harm on anybody. But,
rudely interrupted by Cadillac Muscalade. Pulling up.
They all use the same vehicle.
Random timing, coincidentally.
And it was like, this whole thing when I saw in the comments on social media when people were like, "Oh, Mercedes Martinez is going to have a dual championship celebration," everyone's like, "Oh, I wonder who's going to interrupt that." And then Mercedes Martinez is the one that interrupts Britt Baker.
Kind of weird, but whatever.
Yeah. And she came out to a mass amount of boos, bro. Like, the crowd, they're not fucking on board with it.
No more. Man. She's done. The honeymoon phase is over.
She's been exposed.
She has. About to be worse.
But But this is what I gotta say about Mercedes Moné.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
She came out to the ring. They set up those balloons really quick and stuff when she came out, and like, this is my title celebration and stuff.
And the Bucks cued her music and told everybody to set it up.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that
fucking
part.
assholes.
And like, they couldn't have their own little separate segments because the Learning Tree had to have his 5 minutes on the fucking TV. But anyway, Mercedes came out and she seemed like she was doing her scripted shit. I'm the CEO and money talks and all this different shit. But until the crowd started chanting "shut the fuck up" to her.
Yes.
They started chanting "shut the fuck up," and she looked like she didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed at that point to me, like a light switch flipped and she turned on her heel.
Right. I agree. And
when they started chanting "shut the fuck up," it looked to me like she looked out in the crowd and she just like froze, like she didn't know what she was going to do.
Yep.
But then when she got back on the mic and was like, "All right, fuck you, I'm going to be a heel."
Yeah.
Then it was like fiery. And then it was here we go.
She got confident again. Like she turned on like that delusion switch.
When she embraced the heel, she was doing that fake, like disingenuous baby face, like Chris Jericho and the Bucks are doing and everybody's doing, like that fake ass shit. It just hasn't seemed natural and just hasn't been landing. But when they were chanting "shut the fuck up" at her and it just lit a fire under her ass and she just started coming back, I said, okay, here we go.
Now we got that arrogant asshole attitude from the CEO that thinks she's better than everybody and she thinks she's the best wrestler in the world, best woman wrestler of all time. Like, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
man, that's where it was good, and that's where this is going to be compelling.
And Britt brought up the line about using the piped-in CEO chants. Too. Yes. Yeah.
She's been watching. Britt Baker's been watching our show. We bring it up every week, and thank you. Shout out Britt Baker for watching Ringside Renaissance. We appreciate you.
Yes.
That looks like that's going to be heading to All In, and that's probably going to outshine the women's fucking title match again and whatever. But
she called her out for All In.
Yeah, called her all out for All In.
Yeah.
So moving on, this was my match of the night, and you know why, because we had Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata versus the Cages of Anal. My favorite faction in all Elite Wrestling.
Yeah. He got all his shit in.
He got all of his shit out.
All of his shit out on the cage.
If you all think our anal jokes are too much, you need to loosen up.
Yeah.
Because this is
he got all his shit on in the gates of anal.
Got all of his shit in the gates of anal. And
oh my god. These fucking guys, man.
We don't need spotters at the gym. Like they're oh my god, dude. Timu fucking Usos, and
if they worked out at Planet Fitness, that's fucking grunt siren be going off continuously. That hunk alert, hunk siren.
God. Do you think when they spot each other to inject steroids? I don't know, man. I love it though.
Yeah.
We need to keep that fucking cuck of anal on the fucking.
We need to get front row and get a sign that says Gates of Anal and just hold it up. So, yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, did you notice this? I forgot all the way because at this point it was over.
Yeah.
We're gonna sidebar here. That fucking guy in the front row at Dynamite this week.
Okay,
I don't know if you saw him.
I'm not sure if I remember. What is it?
Bro, this dude was like 6'8", 390 pounds. And he was in the fucking front row and he stood up on was standing for like 75%. Like he did not sit down for like the first hour and 15 minutes a day.
Nothing worse than that. Especially when you're trying to sit behind them or sit with people with signs in front of you. Ugh, sit the fuck down.
Right. And it's not like he was like 5'8",
right,
150. This dude was. He had one of those he had like one of the Will Hobbs shirt, like the black jacked and whatever, and he was like a white guy. It was fucking hilarious. But but dude, he was just standing the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And like I'm gonna have to say this: if you ever see this, fuck you, 6'8", 380-pound guy. Like that's a load of bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
Like
sit your ass up in the top.
Bullshit.
Get your ass up in the nosebleeds.
Sit down, dude.
Yeah.
Like, okay, stand up like during the high spots or whatever. I understand that you get excited, but like they're just doing a headlock in the fucking ring, and he's just standing there. Me off. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the front row because it reminded me of that. I would have missed it otherwise. But
Got you.
and we had more stupid Excalibur fucking commentary too.
Yeah.
He fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah, Chris Jericho came out, and I actually loved this part.
Did you?
Oh yeah, it was fucking hilarious. He comes out to talk to Taz, and at first he says, "You know, you came out last week, or at Forbidden Door, and Hook, you broke the cardinal sin of professional wrestling, where you stole somebody else's finisher."
Yeah.
Hilarious. And I have a paper here signed by the EVPs that says, Taz, you need to vacate the premises because I can't be around you on commentary because you can't be unbiased. And
yeah, he took a shot at Hulk Hogan here too. But
yeah, brother.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
That doesn't work for me, brother. He says, you're here rooting for Hook and you sound like a mark. And that doesn't work for me, brother. That got me. That got a pop out of me. I fucking burst out laughing for that when he called him a mark because the camera was looking at Taz and Taz pretty much burst out laughing too because he thought it was fucking hilarious. Yeah, it got me.
You think
it's stupid, like the whole Jericho thing, but it was fucking hilarious. That was few lines right there. Yeah, the whole thing after that, stupid. Calling Taz like a mark and all that. It was priceless. It was just funny. Yeah, brother.
Yeah. Do you think they're building Taz versus Jericho at all?
I hope so. I was thinking that. Yeah.
I don't know. Taz's neck problems. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
They don't care about fucking people. I don't know, whatever. So anyway, yeah. So I didn't like it. Again, there's another thing. Tony Khan is sitting backstage the whole time, but what the EVPs say goes. Like, I understand it's a show,
right,
but continuity is fucking important here, and it doesn't make sense. Whatever happened to Christopher Daniels? He's the executive EVP.
Yeah.
He can't override any of this shit.
Yeah,
like
for some of it, like
yeah.
But yeah, that was
when it fits the story.
Yeah, so that got the pop out of me. I thought that was funny, those few lines, but after that, it was played out and dumb. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't have much else for this match. Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata all grabbed the cocks of anal and put them in the rear naked choke
behind.
And just thrusted them until they just couldn't take no more, and they used the safe word, I quit.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, we had a post-match. Chris Jericho and Big Balsam and fucking Brian Keith came in and beat down Hook, Shibata, and Samoa Joe. And then Brian Keith took off the sling, and they were like, "Oh, was that a ruse the whole time?" And it's like, why? What did they have to gain from him pretending to be injured? Like,
I don't know.
Excalibur sucks, bro. But they need to like get rid of him and put Nigel McGuinness as the fucking. That's another thing too. Shout out Nigel McGuinness for Forbidden Door commentary, was great.
Yeah,
and
you can hear my voice, but you'll never see my face.
Terrible. So next we had another Owen Hart quarterfinal match. Here we had Jeff Jarrett against the wild card, who was nobody could have predicted this. Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah, I still can't stand this motherfucker.
Yeah, and for reasons I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to dive into this too much. I didn't agree with this match. Didn't like this match. Didn't like the direction it's going.
Me neither.
I think Jeff Jarrett should have at least gotten the first round win in this tournament because of the whole video package that they provided for it.
Yeah, it was good, emotional and all that. Yeah.
And I think Jeff Jarrett was really good in the ring here too.
Yeah, and how old is he? Like, come on. Impressive.
Yeah.
But fucking Hangman comes out like he's all stoic now and all evil and not talkative, and out of all the fucking elite and all the bullshit that happened with CM Punk, sorry to bring it up again, I hate him the most out of all of it. It all stems from his bullshit when he was the champion. So fuck you, Hangman.
Yeah, and it just does, like I said, they're pushing the elite fucking storyline narrative, whatever, but they're flowing it over into other shit that, like, this tournament should have just been its own thing. Why are you putting all these storylines into the fucking tournament? Let the tournament be the storyline. You don't have to fucking flood it with all these other storylines. I'm just not.
I need to get a new poster on my wall of Hangman getting strung up by Swerve. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You should get one of Punk choking out Jack.
I could do that. I could make that happen.
So I wasn't a fan of this. Adam Page won with the dead eye. He moves on in the tournament. Like I said, I don't have much to say about it. I'm not a fan of it.
Then the Bucks tried to recruit him for blood and guts backstage.
Yeah,
and he tried to act like he ain't gonna do it. He's gonna fucking do it. He's gonna be part of it, right? You think? Or you think they got somebody else in mind? No, it's a, he's gonna come
else would
through.
they have in
He's
mind?
just being trying to swerve everybody, but
they're trying to swerve everybody, and it's fucking dumb. It's who they're gonna have. Yep. And this Mark Briscoe announced that he was gonna be the first member of the Team AEW too, even though he's Ring of Honor champion. And
they beat him down.
Yeah, they beat him down. Very impressive. Kyle O'Reilly came out, got beat down. Maybe Kyle O'Reilly's going to be part of Team AEW.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm thinking so. Yeah,
I'd be okay. I want Kyle O'Reilly and Mark Briscoe to be a tag team and have them be the ones that beat the Bucks for the titles.
Me too.
That'd be fucking awesome. Yeah. It's never going to happen in a million years, but I would love it.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Do it. Book it, Tony.
So book it, Con.
Book it, Con.
No, you'd rather book the Elite all holding titles like they're important. Yeah. Next, we have the international title matchup, the main event of the evening. We had Will Ospreay with Daniel Garcia, and he had MJF in his corner.
Yeah. And man, MJF made Daniel Garcia look so good without even being in the ring with him, too. Just being in his corner, right? Like, put him over.
Hyping him up. Like, he needed something, because I think, my personal opinion, that Daniel Garcia got exposed when he was in the ring with Will Ospreay. I think Will Ospreay is so good and so talented that of Daniel Garcia's flaws came
and
through.
I think Daniel Garcia, Buffalo's very own, has been watching the podcast. You know why?
Oh, okay.
Because he actually used the dynamic dick as a move this time. Multiple times during the match, yeah. Rather than just doing it, on the stage or in the ring, he was doing it. Will Ospreay was on his knees getting the dynamic dick from Daniel Garcia.
Yeah. The only thing that saved Will Ospreay is that it was a soft flopper, because if that fucking thing would have if that thing would have been full bone, we would have had a new international champion right there.
He would have got his eye poked out. It got skull fucked.
I was not a fan of this. Like I said, I thought that Will Ospreay looks good, man. I gave him a little bit of slack a couple episodes ago. Will Ospreay's good, and he had a little backstage thing with Don Callis as well, saying that like he wanted to be like let go from the family and stuff and whatever, and he's gonna go full babyface now and stuff. Which, you know what, let him do his thing. I'm not a hater of Will Ospreay, but Daniel Garcia.
Yeah. Will Ospreay was out there doing his whole best of, doing all his stuff in, and Daniel Garcia was out there just trying to fill holes. Plug holes, if you will.
With his dynamic dick. Trying to plug holes with a dynamic dick. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Daniel Garcia. Like, I appreciate them trying to build like a homegrown star and stuff.
They're trying to put him over in the whole babyface thing of it, and Ospreay made him look good too, for sure. Like, yeah.
But it just,
come on,
it's not.
You're fucking.
This isn't working for me, brother.
Doing dynamic dick thrust to the best wrestler in the world, and he's taking it. Like, come on.
He took that.
You're like, come on, fucking ridiculous. Like, it's
for Will Ospreay
funny,
to subject himself like that. For Will Ospreay to like agree to like have like that. I don't.
And MJF's trying to hand him the ring.
Match. Yep, we got him trying to hand him the ring, and
he being an idiot, like him having an idiot moment for once. MJF like not knowing where he is at or who the fuck he is. Like, he had like an identity crisis. Like, he finally remembered what he came back to do.
Yeah, that's what I came back to. Yeah, this is kind of like a little bit confusing to me, because I don't know why did this all lead up to him? I don't know. To where they got in the point from when MJF came back to where this happened tonight, like, it's just kind of confusing. There was no like roadmap to get there. It was
why'd they have the whole love fest at the beginning? Yeah, when
it doesn't make sense.
Just to give him his flowers because he came back, and then or they literally changing this shit on the fly because of other stuff that's happening, and we don't know behind the scenes with the script or where they want it to go. Who knows, right?
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but like I said, I just wasn't a big fan of this match. And that's not taken away from Will Ospreay. I still think Will Ospreay is really good. I think he looked good in this match. Continues to impress. And like I said, he won me over as a fan. If the what they said about him backstage with some shit. If what was said about that is true,
Yeah.
He won me over as a fan.
Yep.
Behind,
Danny Garcia doesn't accept the Dynamite Diamond Ring from
the dynamic dick
ring.
Ring.
From MJF, which
ring.
puts him over even more as being a babyface and being more beloved by the AEW crowd. Turns around and gets cold cocked by the Hidden Blade from Will Ospreay. Totally fucking knocked his head off, leveled him. Yeah, good bump, good hit, and got the 1, 2, 3 on him to retain.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And he goes over, and Ospreay went over, and he gave some flowers to Garcia after the match. Kind of patted him on the back, and kind of told him whatever.
MJF wasn't happy.
He was waiting for Ospreay to leave the ring. He's like, "Get the fuck out of the ring, so I can do my spot here."
Yeah.
So
comes in and tells Danny, "You did good. That one's on me. I fucked up with the whole ring thing."
Yep.
Then gives him the old kick to the balls.
Kick to the dynamic.
Yeah,
dick.
the dynamic dick got the kick.
The dynamic dick.
Yeah. What a better way to get over on Danny Garcia to go right for the dynamic dick.
Yeah.
Give him a good nut shot.
Instant heat.
Yeah.
With that one,
and he sold it so good because Daniel Garcia was like almost crying that he lost the match already. So what a way to add insult to injury and make people love Danny Garcia even more, right? Kick him in the nuts.
Agreed,
yeah. And then MJF goes fucking ham on him.
Better than you.
The devil has returned.
Beautiful heat, man.
Yeah.
This is what I want in a fucking pro wrestler. The bullshit that the fucking Bucks are doing is not heat.
Mm-hmm.
This is heat right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You get Daniel Garcia, you get the crowd completely behind Daniel Garcia, and so even though Will Ospreay won, who is also a fan favorite, Garcia losing just was devastating to the fans.
Yes.
And MJF just fucking destroyed him after
He hit him with the diamond ring, made him bleed, busted him wide open, continued to keep fucking him up. Once he started doing that, the crowd was still behind MJF. They were chanting for him, but by the end of it, they really weren't. Because he just kept going and kept going at it. And it made you feel sorry for fucking Daniel Garcia the way MJF did him, without a doubt.
Yeah. And his blade job looked fucking good. It just added to it. The whole scene, and then the security trying to...
Daddy Magic came out and got a hit from the ring, busted him wide open too. He had cut a promo after that too, backstage. But yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. Hit him with the fucking tombstone pile driver off the top rope, an avalanche pile driver, fucked his neck all up.
Good.
Woo.
So good. He had to be carried out on a stretcher. Yeah. And then MJF leaves through the crowd and fucking throws that one guy's phone out of his hand, knocks the guy's phone out of his hand. Then a guy up on the bleachers tries getting in MJF's face, and MJF's right. He wasn't back in debt. He was spitting on people too. He spit on Daniel Garcia in the ring multiple times, and then out in the audience. Yeah, just heat. And MJF, to this point, he could have came back and he can do all the most fucked up evil shit to anybody in the ring, any of the wrestlers, right? And there still will be crowd behind him, but the last thing that he needs to turn on to get that real heat, to go back to being that heel, is the crowd. That's everything right there. It's the audience, and he knows how to do it, and he proved it. And once he figures it out, he's just gonna fucking stick that fucking knife in and turn it even more. And he knows exactly how to do it, and you could tell he's headed right back to that by what he did out in the crowd there. Fucking beautiful. Awesome. And it's like this stupid, snarmy, fucking sarcastic fucking heel shit is not getting heat because the crowd all laughs along with it and whatever. Right. But this is heat. The crowd generally wanting you to get your fucking ass kicked. When he went out through the crowd and started leaving through the crowd, I was like, they better watch out because somebody's gonna fucking try him today. Somebody's gonna fucking go after him, and somebody did. Somebody got face to face. A security guard had to go over and
love it.
Man,
I love it.
Beautiful.
And he must have went home and patted himself on the back too, because it's so good, man. When you can just come back like that and then just change it up just like that. He had the people in the palm of his fucking hand, man.
Yep. The greatest trick the devil ever played was making you believe he didn't exist.
Yeah, like
fucking A. And it's only going to lead to fucking next couple weeks. He's going to fight fucking Daddy Magic.
Excalibur, make sure you tune in to Collision because MJF is going to address it and start it off, which is actually very smart. I'll give it to them again. Putting them on
for ratings.
Yeah, putting it on, getting people to go right over to Collision after that because who really watches it much anymore? I want to see what he has to say. I'll say that. Yeah. Like, but hopefully he gets on there and just shits on the crowd even more. He needs to go back to the thing where he goes to every city, every fan, everything, just total disrespect to it all. Like shit on everything.
Shits all over it. Oh, I'm
so
here
good.
for it. I'm so here
I want to
for
hate
it.
you again, MJF. Like,
right. I want to love to hate.
And he made me fucking love fucking Daniel Garcia even more too. So like,
I don't know.
So how good are you there then? And then he even made me like fucking Will Ospreay even more again because Will Ospreay came down to the ring to help too, and he got up out the ring like a heel should. As soon as Ospreay got there, that's when he had went out to the crowd, and it was just so good, man, so great. So I'm thinking, it's obviously going to be Ospreay versus MJF at All In now.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Because
Ospreay will be on his
who
home.
would you put over?
That's the thing. I don't know. Yeah, but Ospreay will be the babyface. They will build him up to be the babyface at that point because it wouldn't have worked out again. You would have like babyface versus babyface again and at Wembley, right?
Yeah.
If it was so now they did the whole switcheroo and thank fucking God, man, because it's just so much better.
Yeah, I guess they could do like a disqualification finish or something like that, like a muddy finish to make sure both of them look good coming out of it or something. But yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll wait and see, but I was okay with the end of this Dynamite. There's a few things that, like I said, I was kind of whatever, but we're not going to get 100% great show, I think, all the time. There's going to be some stuff, but that's why we talk about it. And we want all of you all to talk about it too. And we've been really loving the comments and like being interactive with us. Like that's the one goal we've really trying to push with this is to be interactive with everybody and to hear everybody else's thoughts along with ours. And y'all are doing the job, so we appreciate y'all.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out, Hitting Turnbuckle podcast.
Yep.
Shout out to the Brooklyn Power Trip. Shout out to
Artificial Intelligence Wrestling. AIW just started up. They're doing good.
Shout out to Mikey out there too, repping shit. You know what it is. Nothing but love for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, Mikey, keep doing your thing, man. You're killing it too, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Shout out to everybody that follows along with us, man. Like there's a lot of people to name.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's a lot of people that are up in our comments and in our DMs. Not for that reason. No, just trying to show general love and support for us and stuff. And we really appreciate that. And growing a lot more than I ever thought it would. And it's really exciting to see.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Thanks again. Continue doing what you're doing, and we will do the same. This has been the RRW Weekly Review for AEW. And I'm here with Pretty Deadly Jesse. Yeah. And I'm Andrew Combat Jones. Yeah.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Yeah. You've been listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast. Peace.